Hello, Sulfur friends. I'm so excited to be here right now. I hope you guys are learning lots at home, spending time with your parents. We really miss you guys at school. I really want to see you guys, but today what we're going to learn about science. We're going to learn, it's called the scientific method. And so what we're going to do, we're going to go through each step of the scientific method, and I'm going to show you guys this cool experiment that we're going to do, and you can try this at home too, and it's a lot of fun. So the first step in the scientific method is we have to ask a question, because we're going to try to figure something out. So question we're going to ask, so today I have some celery, and we know that plants need water to grow. Like, that's what they need. Like, we as humans, we need food and water so we can grow. Plants, they need water too. And so what we're going to do today for our scientific experiment, we're going to ask a question. If we put this piece of celery in this cup of water, it needs it to grow, but what if this water was a different color? Would the watercolor affect the color of the celery? I'm not sure. So step number one, we have to ask a question. Will the different colored water change the color of the celery? All right, so step two in the scientific method is to make a hypothesis. Hypothesis is a really big word, but what it means is kind of make a guess about what's going to happen. So if we know that clear water makes celery grow, what about if it was colored water? So making a guess, if this water was colored, then I think it would change the color of the celery too. So that's step number two. That's our hypothesis. If this water is a different color, then it'll change the color of the celery. All right, so that was step two. Step number three is to gather our materials. So today I have celery, because we're going to use this for our experiment. We also need some water, and I have 2 glasses of water here. And then the last thing we need is food coloring. So I have pink and I have blue. All right, so those are the materials that we need to do this scientific experiment right now. All right, and then step number 4 in the scientific method is to do the experiment. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this pink food coloring, and I'm just going to put a couple drops right in here. Maybe 5 drops, 3, 4, 5. And I'm just going to let it sit in there. And then I'm going to take the blue one and put about 5 drops in the other one too. There we go. And I have a spoon here too, so I can mix it up, get it nice and even. Alright, so now what we're going to do, you need the celery that has leaves on it too, because I think it'll change the color of the leaves. But let's see. So I'm going to take the celery, I'm going to put it in the red water now. And then this other piece of lettuce, or not lettuce, this is celery, I'm going to put it in the blue one over here. And so right now, it's not going to happen right away, so we have to wait a little bit, okay? So today, in this video, we learned the scientific method. Step number 1, we asked a question. Step number 2, we made a guess, or we made a hypothesis about what's going to happen when these are placed in colored water. And step number 3, we gathered our materials. We had the celery, the water, and the food coloring. And then step number 4, we're actually doing our experiment right now. And so I'm going to come back here later, and we're going to go over step number 5. We're going to see what happens. And then step number 6, we're going to make a conclusion about what we see happen in our experiment here. All right? So I'm going to set these aside. I'm going to let them take some time to absorb that water and see what happens. All right, we're back here. I put the food coloring in our water, and we put the celery in our water. And so, let's see what happened. So let's start with the red one. I have this right here. Let's put the celery in the red water. And look at that. You can see the different colors on the tips of the leaves here. They turn red. And then we have this other one over here. See this one a little bit better, the blue water. Wow, look at that. It's like blue on the tips of the celery. So our experiment in putting the celery in the colored water, the hypothesis that we made was correct, where if we put the celery in the colored water, the celery would change color. So remember, we talked about the first 4 steps of the scientific method. It was ask a question, make a hypothesis, gather the materials, do the experiment, and now we're going to move on to number 5. Number 5 was to record your results. And so what that means is you can record your results in a couple different ways. One of the main ones is you can draw a picture. So if you want to take a piece of paper right now and you can draw a picture of a glass with some colored water in it, and then a piece of celery with some different colors on the tips of it. So this is red water, so there's red tips on the leaves here. And this one's blue water, and so there's blue on the tips over here. And so you can try this at home. You can try different colors of water. You can try maybe a different plant. Like if you find like a white flower outside, you can try and put that in some colored water and see if it'll change the petals of the flower. So that's actually going to be number 6. So number 5, we record our results. And number 6 is making a prediction. So making a prediction means like making a guess about what might happen. So instead of using celery, what if we used the white flower, for example? Do you think the white flower would change color if we used the colored water? Or do you think it would still stay white? And so I want you guys to have some fun with this. You can use celery, you can use white flour, you can try something else that I don't have an idea right now. You might come up with a better idea, something more creative. So that's it for today. We talked about the scientific method. Remember, there's 6 steps. The first one was ask a question. Number 2 was make a hypothesis or a guess. Number 3 was gather the materials. Number 4 was do the experiment. Number 5 is record your results. And number 6 is to make a conclusion. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you learned something new. All right, bye.